Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to PSGL Season 28. This is round number 7 of the F2 Championship, and we head to the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal for the Canadian Grand Prix. My name is Jess, and joining me once again is Owen Wyatt. Welcome back. She missed last week.
Mike might have gone again, but I'm hoping you can hear me. Hello, people. Hello, Jess. I'm going to hope the mic's fix it in itself, but I am here. You are here. Lovely stuff.
Yes, and we are heading to Canada, obviously, for the Canadian Grand Prix. Track's been a while for quite a bit, actually, since 1978, the year where the man who the track is named after won the actual event, and it is a fan favourite of mine, and also the other commentators, drivers, and other spectators too. So I have a feeling it should be a great race. Seen a lot of crazy races in the past, like Jenson Button winning from crazy circumstances. A few people took their first win here. Nigel Mansell, Lewis Hamilton, and a few others had some crazy moments. I think it should be a great race. We've seen some great races in the past. But last time we were here in PSGL was season 26, so 2 season break we had of Canada. But I'm looking forward to going back to this track.
Well, this is it. This is the only place you're going to get Canada these days. Haven't been cancelled for the 2nd year in a row in real life F1 season. Ironically, its replacement, the Turkish Grand Prix, also looks like it's going to be cancelled now. So, yay. Wonderful stuff. So we'll give you as much Canada as we possibly can. And we will, hopefully get a cracking race. This is one of those weird ones where 2 stops is a viable strategy. I don't know if it still is, but certainly when we were last here, it was one of the more useful strategies. So I do wonder what this quality session will be like. Will they go all in on the sauce, or will someone try and risk a 1 stop?
Yes, I would say when I race around here, 1 stop is not a viable option because the tyre wear is awful, and that generally the undercut is pretty much the most powerful on this game in terms of pit stops anyway. The pit lane loss is considerably less as well, so if you don't do the 2 stop, you're going to lose a chunk of time. So if you missed last week's race, we had Gil that took the race victory with a very commanding victory actually over his teammate Tunetank. And he's leading the championship now with 44 points over Lamborghini, who did not score again last week, on 32 points. It's Gil's teammate Tunetank is 3rd with 28. Then we got Bannon on 27, Hadler on 26, Luca on 21, joint with Suka in the Red Bull. Then we got Benny on 17, Antoine on 15, Fabi on 15 as well, Roll Rally on 13, Greeny on 10, M Short on 10, CC Brain on 10, and we got Ascom, Igoro, Toxic Tomato, Simo, Fenny, and Manolo rounding up the championship. 2 drivers yet to score. So that is the championship results. And now we head to the grid with a full lobby. Don't we like to see that? It's great to see. And it's a dry qualifying as well. It may not mean it may be dry for the race, but everyone is qualifying on the softs at the moment. So that reminds me of 2 things. It could rain at the start of the race, or it could not. But I'm guessing everyone does not want to start on the mediums just yet.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of them sort of confirming maybe what I'm thinking. That just you could gamble for a 1 stop and do a medium to hard or something like that. But yeah, I think all in on the softs and do your 2 stop, or as you say, rain could be coming. But yeah, we'll see how everyone gets along in this session. We've had such a weird season so far, haven't we? I still think, obviously, Gil's had a good few weeks, Lamborghini's had a few weeks off. I do wonder what the performances are going to be like today, because we only have 4 races to go now. It's flown by so far, and that championship is just still all the way up to play for. I don't know how they're all looking so far as handlers this first time. We're expecting much quicker times than that today, but look at this. Everyone's invalidating. Everyone. So they've got to really be careful. World Rally is retired in the pits. Has he had a qualifying ban or something? Or is he just...
I believe he's had a qualifying ban, yes, after the results from last week. He went for the last gap move into the final corner with Hadler, causing Hadler to spin. And then he had another incident as well with Benny, which caused him to have enough points for a qualifying ban. So he was allowed to do a lap, an installation lap, and that was it. Then he would go into the pits to make sure his setup is safe. But at least he's followed the rules, so he will not get a disqualification, thank goodness. Here's our championship leader, IGK Gil, who is coming around just towards the start of the 2nd sector, looking tidy so far. He's got a bit of a tow from the Red Bull drive. I think that was Simo who was he got past as well. Luckily, he just moved out of the way. using a bit of VRS as well. I wonder if people are going to get some problems with a D-rating this week. Not too much. I think there's plenty of places where you can say VRS. In particular, this heavy hairpin here heading towards, I can't remember what turn it is, turn 10 and turn 11. That is where I think they could probably save a bit of VRS, but he's using all of it at this moment in time, heading towards 8th gear here. This is another DRS straight, heading towards the back straight, heading towards the final corner soon. We've seen quite a few people invalidate, and we've seen plenty of people bin it in the Wall of Champions. Let's hope not many of our PSGL champions of God knows how long doesn't bin it. So we've got Gil coming across the line, and it's a 1:07.7. So already we're starting to see times which are faster than the F2 pole time from last season. 1:07.5 was the pole time, I believe, last season, and M Short just beating that with a 1:07.4. But it was line only in season 26. Season 28, obviously no line, and we got a different variety of drivers anyway. So we expect times to be a lot faster, and obviously the new patch and everything that's been there since obviously season 26, it's bound to be different, and a lot of practice around this track as well. So it's nice to see some good times right now.
Yeah, good to see the natural sort of evolution of the game and all the drivers, again, staying pretty close so far. Not a massive amount of legal time so far. You can see there are a few that have invalidated their laps so far. So still plenty more times to come, but yeah, it is good to see. Quicker lap times and close lap times, as we always like to see. And at the minute, yeah, our championship contenders, Gil's got his hand on the board. Lamborghini, he invalidated his first run. And yeah, he's having a weird season, isn't he? He either gets no points or he wins the race. So he's obviously going to probably for one of those that wins the race. Now, there's a Mercedes Narnia. I don't really know what that's all about. He's just letting people out of the way. But
that might be an M Short. Might be an M Short actually. He moved out of the way of the other drivers because he already set a lap. But we got Fabi just about to finish his lap as well, hoping to help his teammate in the constructors. He comes across the line now in 20th at the moment, and he slots in P9, which is not quite close to the 107s yet, but I'm sure with a few improvements he can get there as well. Antoine is slowing down. He is invalidated too. Suku is about to start a lap, and Manolo as well, who got 0 points last week. I believe he finished last week. He's looking to carry on this season on a high. His second race this season after a few, pretty much 5 or 6 races break, because he did race last season. Hasn't been very lucky last season in terms of points. Could this be the race where he actually scores some points? And we've seen many drivers in PSGL get their first points here, or maybe even their first win. So maybe Manolo can surprise us today.
well, it is a track of first, isn't it? As Suko invalidates his lap time at the chicane at 3 and 4. So that means you can put some focus on Manolo. Only ways up when you're sitting P20 at the minute, as he is. So he's got the track really mostly to himself. He's got the 2 Red Bulls in front of him. Same on a idle lap, he should move out of the way if he gets close, but I don't imagine he will. If anything, it might be a chance for a tow if he catches him in the right place. But like I say, it's a good time to be doing a lap at the minute, just to get a banker on the board. Only 11 on there. Look how close he's getting to the wall, man. They're really giving it some. Purple through the first sector. Game loves to say that for quite a lot of first sector, so it did look relatively competitive compared to what Gil was doing. He's 5th at the moment, so expecting to be slotting around there as long as he keeps the pace up as he heads to one of the many invalidation points. All these chicanes, it's so easy to invalidate. That's why we're seeing so many laps going so far. But Manolo has kept it all legal so far. He's through the middle sector at 40.1, and now it's just the last blast towards the Wall of Champions chicane. Most challenging corners on the track, and probably some of the most challenging corners on the whole calendar. It's so important, and people sort of underrate this one sometimes because it's right at the end of the lap. It is where you can lose it all, but he's kept it all going. Hit the wall, might well have damaged the car, but it's okay if he can just get to the line and set the lap, which he does. He's gone P4. I do wonder if he did actually break that front wing as he hit the wall. He didn't quite, but he's certainly pushing the limits, Jess.
Yes, he is, and I imagine what would have been if he did not hit the wall. I think he would have gained almost certainly maybe a 10th or 2 potentially. It would have put him, I would say, P3, probably ahead of Eltink as well. So Manolo doing pretty good as well. I'm not going to try and jinx him too much because I said his good things about now, and knowing that, then he's probably going to have a bad race. I hope he doesn't. But anyway, second place in the championship, Lamborghini. He is on a lap 2, looking pretty tidy so far. Another person who invalidated earlier as well. They don't have enough soft tyres to last the duration of the session. They only have 4 sets of tyres, so they go for the softer option. free for the balanced or the harder, but if I were you, you would go for the balanced option as he heads past turn 8. No invalidations yet for him, so I'm guessing he's pushing, and I think on their first laps, I think they were trying to see what they can cut and what they could not, ready for their last part of qualifying and heading into the race as well. His teammate as well, I believe, is on his out lap, but Fabi will probably need to speed up a little bit because, again, you do not want to give the toe that's banned in this league. Heading towards the final corner once again, Wall of Champions. Let's see what he could do, as I don't think he's going to be faster than our current pole sitter, but he's probably going to prove me wrong. Nope, it's not. P6 for him, 1077 is our second place man in the championship.
Seemed a little understeery on that lap. There's probably time to be fine there if he just sort of nails the chicanes a little bit better, but still it's a good start there as Ballner narrowly beats M Short. He's at the top of the time, so we've got a few more laps going on as well. Trying to see who the first one is. It looks like a Ferrari of Caden possibly. He's on one, so we'll see him as he heads through the last chicane. So easy to invalidate here, obviously, because you're trying to turn in as early as possible to help with the exit. And it's actually a slow lap there from Caden, sorry. Gonna find someone else. So many out there at the minute, isn't there? Going for their second runs. These are still not really massively important, if I'm being brutally honest. But like every lap could be the one, but it's not likely to. We've got Ruben heading free. He hasn't actually set a time yet, so he needs a banker at the moment in his McLaren. His teammate Fenny up in 5th place at the moment. Ruben 4 seconds off the pace, so he's also slow. Right, Fabi, you are on a lap. Let's see what you're going to do. P13. I mean, it's not a horrendous lap, but it's 4 tenths off, and it's all the way down to 13th place. It's amazing, as always, how close this field is. It never ceases to surprise me. CC Brain was invalid. We've got, yeah, a flurry of laps done.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Greeny almost hit the wall there, and he did, and that's his lap invalidated. So another person to bin it past turn 8 as well. So luckily, I think he's going to go into the pits now and get a change of front. Well, he's going to get his wing repaired anyway, but he's going to have a few extra minutes to get himself mentally prepared, at least, ready for the session ahead, of course, because apart from Austria, I would say this is going to be one of the closest qualifyings we've seen in a while. Bahrain Short, I believe, was very, very close as well. So it's been pretty close all season as well, which shows how close his grid is and how close his championship has been all season. By round 7, we still don't know if Gill's going to keep his championship lead, because Lamborghini was leading for all of it, and Gill was the first person to actually knock him off his perch right now, as Suku was on his out lap. Nobody else is on a lap, actually. I think people are just diving into the pits. So hard to predict these days on who to get pole position, but looks like Balliner are pretty much quali merchant of F2 at the moment, who's got the most pole this season. Currently fastest. M Short about to start a lap.
Yep, he's heading through the last chicane, and he will start off. CC Brain had just gone up into P6 there, by the way. Is that 9 different teams in the top 9 as well? Nice and competitive. You'll love to see it. Only the Ferrari's not in there, but oh well. 9 out of 10 is not bad. We'll see how M Short does, see if he can put his Mercedes up onto the top. He's already up by enough in that first sector to go P1, nearly a 10th on his last attempt. 5 minutes to go in this session, so if he's not happy with his lap so far, wouldn't be at all surprised to see him if he try and dive into the pits, but if he thinks it's good enough, he will keep going. Just it might put him under a little bit of pressure at the end, but I'm sure he's calculated all this okay. We've got a Renault in front of CC Brain, who's gone off the track to avoid. M Short losing a little bit of time in the middle sector, but it's still narrowly enough to go P1 if he can finish the lap off, and he is going to abandon it. So he will try another time. I guess he'll pit because he's just not got enough time left. He's turned the ERS down. He'll try again later. Suko also up, but not by enough to go P1. Again, will he decide he's going to abandon this attempt? He's still on the ERS, so he's not turned it down like M Short did. So let's see. Will he turn in? Will he go straight on? Let's find out. He's going for it. Through the last chicane. Doesn't hit the wall. Keeps it within the limits of the track. He's got a 107.4 to beat. And he's done it to 107.3. That's going to be tight. Don't think he'll get another run in. So that might well be Suko done for the day. But it is a pretty good attempt. P1 at the minute. I think Anton, by the way, has done another lap. He is P4 now. So
He's
that's
not on
fine.
another lap. He's invalidated.
Well, it just done one. I mean, while we were so.
Right,
we'll
okay.
see here.
Yeah.
Right, Gil right there. He's gone early, and he's now cut the track.
Oh,
So that's not
Gil.
going to do well. Just abandoning that lap in a creative manner. But yeah, a few others in out laps. It's a weird position for like to Benny, Samo, Gil, because they might come across quite a lot of traffic. You can see if you've got the mini map on, all the cars are starting to come out in the pits, and these guys are going to come across them. It's an inevitability. It's just about whether they get in the way or not. But Samo about to start his lap, Jess.
Yeah, as he's currently in 17th for now. The gap separated by quite a bit just between him and first place as well. First place is actually his teammate as well. To put into perspective, I did a bit of research before the Grand Prix today. The actual pole time set by the F1 guys was a 1:07.2, so I doubt we're going to reach that, but you never know. We could see our pole merchant banner maybe get it as well. M Shaw, I believe, will go quicker because I know he made a bit of mistake in his flyer lap earlier on as well, so potential to go quicker. M Shaw did the right thing actually for going into the pits early on, and someone just had an off.
No, he won't quite get the wall, Samo, but that's... Well, I guess that's the one advantage of going out early, because you still have 2.5 minutes to get another lap in, but it's if he got the fuel, has he got enough to get around?
And the tyres as well.
Straight with stick, and yeah, tyres too. Benny's done the same thing nearly, a massive sideways moment, but he hasn't spun, but again, that's a lap down the drain. How about Gil? He looks to have kept it all good, so he will finish this lap, and let's see where he can go. 4/10 off pole at the minute, that's enough to go only P15. So let's see how much time he can gain. A 10th is massive here, and he's found nearly 2/10s. He's up to P8 now. And let's try and see who's furthest real, and this is where it gets fun with such a short track. Who's got enough? Well, there's so many invalid laps out there. Again, they're struggling so much at it. This is last chance saloon. Benny's way down, obviously, with that slide, and Samuel's got to go again. Caden, I mean, who even is on a lap that is valid right now? This could really shake this order up. A lot of drivers struggling. Hadler is up by nearly 1/10.5 in the first sector, and he's up still by nearly 2/10 in the middle sector. And I think he might be the first real lap who's actually valid right now and not on an out lap. So let's follow him as he heads through to finish his lap through to the Wall of Championship chicane. Oh, that's a lot of understeer on the way in.
Ooh.
And that is going to cost him lappy. He's either turned in too late or just had so much understeer it's cost him, and he loses all the time. That's going to be frustrating, but he will try again. Has he got enough ERS to get round? That bar was only on about 50% when he crossed the line. Might be a little bit on edge as he crosses the line to finish the last lap, but we will keep an eye on that. Eltink is slow. He's about to do another lap. Just be careful you don't hold up the Ferrari of Benny, because he is on a lap coming through the final corner. In fact, he will get a nice toe if he wants it. And he's looking at a decent lap. He's gone up to P3. Nice job. Semo is coming across the line now as well. He stays in P17. Further back, Lamakina is starting a lap. We've also got Balmer crossing the line. And a lot of cars will be coming through now. CC Brain, that was invalid, I think, so no improvement. Suko's also able to get out there during another lap, so fair play to him. M Shorts just clattered the wall. That might well have damaged his car, and he was invalid anyway, so that's his qualifying effectively over. Fabi as well invalid. They're all making mistakes and invalidating right now. It's bizarre, this. The checkered flag is out. Hadler is coming to the line. It's not enough improvement to make up a position. Frustrating that for him. We've got a McLaren, Fenny, again, invalid lap, so it doesn't pay for him. Antoine, it's a close one. Will he be able to improve on this lap? It's all about that last sector. No improvements. This is asking for someone to swoop in and steal this, but who's going to do it? Lamakina is currently down in 14th place. The man who either scores no points or wins the race needs a big lap here to put himself into a good position to win. To get the win. He has to get back into this championship fight, and he's given it everything for that last chicane, hitting the wall. What's the time going to be? It's only P14. It's not good enough. Balner wasn't good enough either. Everyone falling by the wayside. What about Ascom? He's only down in P16 right now. He needs a big improvement as well to get out the field, and he's got it. P5, better lap from him. Fabi heading through. A marginal improvement is all he needs to go up a position, but hitting the wall there might have cost him. Let's see. Crossing the line, it's P2. Decent lap again. And I think we're running out of people to go here because everyone is either pitting or slow. I'll see if there's anyone else going.
No, that's
Benny's not doing another one. No, that is us. So Suko with that lap. Sort of against the grain, he did that overlapping, but it was enough. It's pole position, a 107.342 for the Red Bull driver.
I believe
Jeez,
that
was hectic.
It was hectic. I believe that's his first pole position as well, because Banner's got the most pole positions this season with, I'm just trying to see, 3 pole positions. Eltink had some pole positions as well, so it's nice to see a different person get pole position as well. Fabi as well. I haven't seen up there near the top in a long time, so good to see him on form as well. Ballina showing consistency is key, because even though he didn't start pole, maybe starting third around here won't be too bad as well. Benny as well, big surprise, up into 4th place. I think that's his best qualifying result of the season, I think. I don't know who we're waiting for to retire. I think we actually are waiting for Benny, actually, whilst we're speaking about him. But yeah, some huge surprises, and some Lamakina down in 15th place. If he needs to get his championship fight underway, he's going to hope that the alternate strategy pays off. And with a track being so dependent on the 2-stop, I don't think it may not work out for him. But we'll find out as we'll go through the standings in just a second.
Yep, we do a Suko on pole. We've got Fabi second, Balner and Benny, and then we've got Short, Ascom, Antoine, Luca, CC Brain, and Gil. Will he be happy to be sitting 10th? I think he would have rather been honestly 11th, maybe to get just a fresh set of tires. That's where Fenny sits. Then Hadler behind him, Heltink, then Manlo, and then Lamakina. Needing a big performance today to try and close that gap at the top. Ruben 16th, Samo 17th, Kid at 18th, World Rally 19th, and Greeny never got a lap on the board, and he starts last.
Oh, he starts near the back, I think, most races as well, but I wonder if him starting at the back of Canada won't be too bad, because I've seen Carnage into turn 1 loads of times in many leagues as well. So I think for Greeny, as long as he keeps out of trouble, he should be absolutely fine. But we're going to see then what the weather's going to be like for the race. Overcast, that's interesting. So no rain to be expected yet, but clouds look a bit dark, so it may suggest rain, or it may suggest that it will be overcast to sunny, which has happened quite a few times, but the drivers are about to ready up anyway. It'll be interesting to see what people outside the top 10 do. Will they go for maybe medium soft, or medium soft medium? We don't know. They want to keep their tyres in a good condition, but the most important thing here is the undercut. They want to pit in plenty of time so they don't get the disadvantage of the overcut. So you know, it's going to be a good race in terms of strategy, I think. I think we're going to have a lot of different strategies today. But the top 10, almost certainly, obviously they will be starting on softs. I strongly suggest they're probably going to be doing soft, medium, medium. That's the recommended strategy. But you can do soft, medium, soft around here. But it's not good. It's not good due to the other people doing the undercut. So should be a fun race in that regard. But Suku, he's not used to starting pole position. Can he convert that pole into a race win? Haven't seen many people do that this season, but Suku's going to hopefully prove us wrong that he can do it. So we're about to see what tyres people go on. And yeah, let's get this formation lap underway then.
You know, the big thing here is that we are sat here on race 7, and the championship leaders only sat on 44 points. So that means there's a big opportunity for really anyone still. So Suko, you know, to convert this with championship leader Gil only sitting 10th, his main rival Lamakin in 15th, Eltink down in 13th as well. Hadler outside top 10, he's 12th as well. Balner, the only one sort of close to Suko at the minute. They're both looking to make a championship charge, and with so little points on the board so far, it's crucial for them this. So I'm very interested to see how they're all going to get on with this one. It's crucial, this one, for Suko. And you know what? I'm not even going to try and guess the strategy. The tyres, we can see everyone outside the top 10, apart from Eltink, who's gone for the softs. Everyone else on mediums, so no one's starting on the hards. Didn't really expect that one anyway. And we don't know what the weather's going to do either. No guessing, because every time I guess, I get it wrong. And I make an idiot of myself.
I predicted last week. I was on my own last week, so like, you know what, I would predict. Turns out I got it wrong as well. So that's why I'm going to go back to my theory. Do not predict. But all we can tell you is the action zones for tonight. There's quite a bit of action zones. Obviously, turn 1. the main overtaking zones of the lap. You've really got to use your potential there. I think we're going to see a lot of overtakes there tonight. Turn 3 as well, people could go late on the brakes there as well. So if you get a good run down the pit straight, you could really get the slipstream needed to get the DRS. Turn 5 as well. It is a very tricky corner, but we can see some overtakes potentially there as well. And obviously the hairpin and heading into the DRS zone. So plenty of stuff to watch out for as well. And remember about the pit lane as well. They can't cut it either. And the pit lane entry is so short, we could see a few speeding penalties tonight. But we're just waiting for the last few cars to head onto the grid. And I'll hand it to you for the start.
So it's a very unusual turn 1 this, because you already start on a right-hander and straight into a left, tight left, and then a right again. It's so close. So that's launch of the line. It's one of the most important of the season. And you're going to have to be properly brave on the brakes if you want to make a move. It is Suko and Paul Fabi with him on the front row. All 5 lights are on. Balliners jump the start. That's another championship contender down the drain. We're away in Canada. And you can see Suko has held on to his lead. And despite the jump start, it does appear Balliners actually got off the line badly. And there's a bit of contact going on there as well. A few cars ghosting. They might get away with it. But I'm very curious to see how everyone else gets through. A few cars having some contact near to the back, but they all appear to still be alive. The order is upside down for me, so I shall wait before I start confirming things. All I can tell you is Suko is still leading the race. A few cars side by side, including the 2 racing points. This is really not what they need. Championship leader and a championship contender trying side by side, but it appears Skills actually lost track position to Tunetank.
Looks like
on the soft might not have been a bad idea for him.
Yeah, it looks like the soft runners have got ahead of the medium runners so far. So the guy that started on the soft tyres, maybe it wasn't too bad. That was actually KJ as well. He was looking to try and get moved. 3 wide as well. This is absolutely insane going into the hairpin.
I think with the half off, sorry. There's an accident. Yeah,
Namakina's gone off.
Namakina and Manlo have come together. So much chaos on this first lap. When is Founders taking it now? He's taking it now. You know, the frustrating thing is he's been given that drive-through penalty, and since he's jumped the start, he's thought, I've jumped it, and then he's instantly put the brakes back on, and you can't remove the penalty out of that. So he didn't really gain much of an advantage from jumping it, but that's the rules. You have a drive-through for it. So he's at the back end. He's looking for a safety car now. His teammate Manlo will fix that front wing, but that's what I'm saying with Suko. That's one of the other sort of contenders of the championship out of the way. So he's probably feeling pretty good about this. If he can convert this victory, he is straight into the fight. First thing he's got to think about is trying to get out of DRS range of Fabi. We'll see what he can do. Eltink is looking really strong, by the way. He's up to 7th now, continuing his strong start to this race. And he's all over the back of Antoine, who will not get DRS on lap 3. So that's surely a car there for the taking for him as well.
Yeah, we still have people going side by side. Gil.
Good move from him as well. So these racing points looking racy today. But here comes CC Green as well. Ascon being shuffled down the grid. And he might have had the last thing he needs as a medium runner getting ahead of him.
Yeah, exactly. Gil up into 8th place. He's had one of the best starts so far, as well as KJ as well. A few people dropping down the order as well. It may come down to the delta of the tyres as well. But I have to say, KJ was looking very good at the end of the race last week. If there was a few more laps, I had a feeling he would have got Gil last week. But due to the penalty he had, Gil would have finished ahead of him on track anyway. So KJ, one of the favourites to potentially be on track to the race victory. But he's dropped a bit from Antoine. But I wonder if KJ and Gil will be working together this race. I won't be surprised. World Rally looking good on the back of Fenny as we head towards Sector 2. Fenny hasn't scored any points this far this season either, as World Rally's had a huge slide. That's costing him a bunch of time. Really common to get a bit of wheel spin there because of the tyres, so I'm guessing that's not going to do his tyres any good. But glad he's on the mediums and not on the softs, otherwise that would have been worse. And so World Rally, let's see what he could do into the hairpin as well. No one is close yet. I think the DRS train is going to grow so much, there's not going to be too much overtaking as of yet. Yeah,
but we do have Ascom who's got half his front lane missing, so that might trigger some fighting unless he decides to pit. He's still in the DRS range of CC Brain, 3 zones on this track. So there is plenty of time to catch up if you're losing time, as long as you stay within that protection point. But I cannot see this being sustainable. While Emshaw, by the way, is all over the back of Fabi, he's all over the back of Suko. They're all still close, but we might see a general, I don't want to pass into pit stops. But with 2 pit stops being the norm here on this track, maybe that'll encourage a little bit more racing. So hopefully they might be a bit more racy today, but we'll see how they get on. Interested to see how quickly Ascom will realise that he can't sustain this, because look at that gap. That's going to end up over a second soon, because it's CC Brain still has DRS. Will he be in this detection point? He will be, but he will miss the next one, I'd imagine, and that's where his race will start falling apart. It's where Hadler as well has got to be careful, because he, as the lead medium runner, has got somewhat of an advantage here, and has got to make sure he doesn't scupper too early, so he's got to be cautious as well. Wonder who behind might be feeling a little bit ambitious, but yeah, hopefully the rumblings of some good fights starting here.
Yes, Royal Valley also had a good start as well. He started last on the grid and he's up into 13th place as well. So he must like this track as well. I think he was guy that he probably had a qualifying ban, but him staying out of the carnage helped him a little bit there. But here comes Ascom on, or Hadler on Ascom actually. I think the issue that he had earlier has probably costed him, and there's a bit of an end plate missing it looks like. And
I don't know if you can hear me, you've gone quiet, so I'm just going to talk to your hands. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I've front wing go flying off then.
Yes, and he's gone into the pits. I think a few other people had front wing damage as well. I think that was... did Banner get damage, or is it a strategic pit stop? It is strategic pit stop for Banner. That's a nice and early than I would have thought. I thought they would have pitted lap 5, lap 6, but I'm guessing...
There's a lot of guys in there. Look, you've got Fabi, Luca, Eltink. They're all going for the undercut as well. You say it's very strong out here, so surely Fabi's just put himself into the race lead with this one.
Yeah.
And that's certainly mediums to the end. He's not going to muck about with the sauce at the end. It's 2 sets of mediums he's going to go for. But surely Suko might be out of this race in terms of winning it anyway, unless he has a properly good in lap. You can see he's got a full bar ERS. He's not really fancying to use it though, so maybe he's accepting his fate, or he's just playing a long game. As Benny passing M Shorts. Will he be heading straight to the pit lane after this? Let's see. Suku stays out. Benny straight to the pit lane.
Yeah.
Antoine's staying out as well.
Oh, Benny. I did say there was going to be stock goes for speeding in the pit lane, and Benny unfortunately got one. That's not good for a guy that qualified in 4th place in this race. He's going to drop way down due to people making the undercut a lap earlier. So let's see where Fabi is compared to I would say Benny. I think he's going to be way ahead anyway. So the full powerness of this undercut. So I think them pitting earlier than I thought may strongly I don't know, because I thought lap 6, lap 7. So I'm guessing they can make the medium tyres work. It does last 19 laps, longer than most games in F1, so they can do it, but they want to pit as early as they can on the second set of mediums anyway, so I'm guessing the earlier they do the undercut, the better. Antoine will want to try and get ahead of M-Short before the pit stops, because I think Antoine will probably want to respond to M-Short. He's got to get a good gap, I would say, to see what happens. Suku's got to pit now, because otherwise... He's definitely lost his race win, almost certainly, but maybe he can cover off the undercut later on. He stays out again. What about M-Short? He stays out too. The front wing just not budging. Are they not responding to the guys around him? I think this is just their race to lose, and maybe Fabi's to win. This is good for Alfa Romeo in the constructors.
Well, they must have some sort of plan as well. Raleigh goes down the inside of Fenny, trying to get through. Medium runners fighting away, obviously gets a stop, but I do wonder maybe they're trying to extend the stint to try and do a medium soft run. Maybe they feel that's the only option. Maybe they feel that the lead for Suko anyway may have already gone. It just depends on Fabi's pace. It's not a flat out guarantee that he'll lose, and I've just been disconnected from the lobby, so you're then taking him. Goodness, this game.
Yeah, I was about to ask you if you were still in the session, because I seen you left the session, but I will cover for you whilst you try and get back in the session. No, we got some spare invites, so we should be fine. So yeah, the midfield battle's looking very, very intense actually as well, but we'll see when the medium runners actually pit for their first stop as well. I think roughly about, I would say lap 12, 13 will be when they do their first stops, if they're going for the 2-stop. Maybe about the same time if they're going for the hards, but if I were you, don't touch the hards around there. The hards are a nightmare around this track. Nobody is going to be budging in the front, so as Greeny's getting himself a 3-second time penalty. He is having a nice battle with Ruben at the moment. He's doing a great job on those mediums, but he's second to last out of the ones on the medium tyre running, out of the ones who have yet to make a stop. So, but I'm sure he could go back into this race. Hasn't made any mistakes so far, actually, compared to previous weeks. So I'm guessing he's practiced quite a lot and wanting to get much better results, because even though he's got much better points haul than last season, the last few races have been shockingly bad for him. So let's see what he could do in these next few stages of the race. I'm seeing what M Short could do as he's got Antoine for pressure now in 3rd place. Podium battle. I'm seeing if there's any peak of sunshine. Not at the moment, so it looks like it's going to stay as it is. And yeah, I'm almost certain Fabi's going to be ahead of these front 3 when they pit. It's certainty right now. Fabi's already catching up to the likes of Lamborghini and Greeny, and the gap, the pit lane loss is about 16 seconds. So the top 3, they've got to make a move on, as Suku decided to go into the pits. M Short does not. Antoine does not either. So Suku, we'll see what he does. He's going to probably come out ahead of M Short and Antoine anyway. So yeah, I think some people running their own races, to be honest, but we'll see Fabi. I think he's going to comfortably go out ahead, but you never know with the pit lane being as short as it is. Let's see what he could do. Yeah, comfortably ahead of Suku.
Big time, hasn't he? That is... You know what that is? That's him surely thinking about doing something different later on. He saved on the ZRS as well. He wasn't interested in using it. He must have a plan, right? I mean, he can't just be happily wasting a podium, right? Yeah, he's doing something. There's a plan here. Trust me, there has to be. Otherwise, it's really poor race management.
Yeah, there's a few times I've forgotten to manage my ERS and left it on 97 for quite a long time, but maybe because he was running on his own and didn't have much battling to do, then there was no point. Meanwhile, Lamborghini goes side by side with Greeny into the hairpin. Can he make it stick as well? Lamborghini seems to get the better line as well. He's got Ruben not that far ahead as well, so maybe they could go for the double overtake soon as well. More time penalties as well. This is going to be a penalty central track as well. Greeny is going to be 3 wide. One of them is going to probably back out as we've got Ruben in the pit lane, which is, again, really, really early for the medium tyre runners. He may have picked up some damage. Greeny stays ahead of Lamborghini for now in 6th position on the road. And we'll see where Ruben comes out. Ruben is on the hard compound tyre, so he's going for the one-stop strategy. Don't know how long these hards go on for. 24 laps, and I'm not good at maths. I think it could do it, but it's going to be a bit of a push.
It'll be very slow, but it depends just how many cars get by him and how quickly they do it. I think someone tried this in the F1. It's kind of worked, but it sort of fell apart towards the end. I've got to say, the top 3, or the net top 3, I should say, are looking very racy. They actually, Luca seems pretty, interested in getting past, actually, and we've got Suku now into their DRS. He should get, yes, he is in the detection zone, so he will be in that fight as well. But it seems they're all just closing up, and they're all going to be closing up under Greeny and Lamborghini. They could all be on one-stops, these guys, on mediums. I do think it's unlikely, but maybe if enough do it, it becomes viable. So I do sort of keep your eye on that still. It could just make this whole race a lot more interesting, but you can see how close that net top 3. I'll put it in inverted commas for now, and we'll see what happens later. But it does feel like it's all building to some sort of crescendo, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how they get through. Because when one person starts fighting, they'll all start fighting, and then we'll get a very fun race. All needs is KJL team to catch it a little bit more, and then we'll have a proper train. CC Brain on the back of it too, so it'll be, 7-8 cars in there. Give us something. Go on, you want to give us a good race, lads.
Yeah, I think more drives actually catching up to the train as well, as Fenny gets past Royal Valley up into 4th place on the road at least. They've been battling for the whole race actually as well. I wonder what M. Short and Antoine are playing at the moment, because I'm almost certain you can't do soft to mediums, as we can see Antoine being pressured by his teammate, and you can tell that Antoine's made the wrong decision for staying out. He was hoping to do soft, medium, soft. It's not
It's one stop, surely. Why is he still out there if it's not one stop? Again,
no, he can't do a one stop for me. It's impossible, and he's already swamped with a bunch of cars.
He's crashed. Well, that doesn't help. Front wind's gone.
But M. Short goes in anyway into the pit lane, so he saw what happened behind him and realised, no, I'm not getting involved in that. So he's going into the pits for a set of mediums. And mediums last 19th now.
And no one's trying hard. That's what I was thinking. Maybe they're staying to try hard, but again, you've got to start the mediums to do that. So, yeah.
Ooh.
It'll be another set off at the end, surely.
Luca and Fabi were going side by side, heading in towards turn 2, and now heading in towards this next chicane here. Fabi was looking very racy actually as well. Fabi, we thought the undercut was going to be powerful for him. It's got a lot of runners fighting for him, as we got Caden Forbes that's retired in the pit lane, so he must have not had a very good race. And we didn't see what happened to him, which caused him to give up and throw the towel. But that's not good. It's another retirement in a row. Luca again having another slide. That's giving Fabi a little bit more time as well. I wonder if Lamborghini will probably hold these guys up to help Fabi as...
This is for an accident, Jess. You've got Lamborghini's all over the road. He's getting penalties. This is... I'm loving this. This is looking a bit of a mess. I don't think any of them are really enjoying this right now. And here comes Lamborghini now. He's getting a bit desperate. He's trying to make the overtake. Really decides he wants to pit, but now they're all going to be on him. And Luca straight through Fabi as well. And Fabi all over the show. Where's Benny going to come through on all this? Where's Suko? Has he saved his DRS enough? He's still very much ready in there. He's just lurking, ready to try and take advantage because Fabi's blown it. He's blown all of his DRS out of the way. He's got nothing left. It's lap 13. He's already used his whole deck of cards. Luke is not looking much better, but he's pulling away. And Fabi, the race started to turn away from him now. And Lamborghini, well, if he's going to do any sort of blocking job, he's going to do it now. But that's assuming he doesn't want to try and do a one-stop or something.
Yeah, that puts Suku back in this race as well. 1 minute we thought that Suku was going to win, then we thought Fabi was going to win. It was like Monaco Grand Prix, where there's someone that was a net race leader seems to be having troubles, or having someone that's quicker than them really start to put the pressure. But that's what we're seeing here as well. And this is, I like Canada in league racing. It's always fun. It's always some nice battling as well. But this is clean battling from the front lot as well. And Lamborghini still has to pit yet as well. So he's going to be in a lot of trouble, and there's no way he's going to catch up to the top two if he's got traffic as well. But Luca, I would say, definitely stellar performance from him, the dark horse, I think, so far this season, as we got Royal Valley and Fenny into the pits. Fenny doing the one stop. What about Royal Valley? Is he doing... Oh, he's doing a two stop. I believe he's on another 7 mediums, which he is.
Yep.
So there he goes out of the pit lane, and he's going to come out way down the order. He's got two of the Haas cars going to potentially overtake him, but we'll see. Heading towards this next part of the track, and yeah, the two Haas are behind well, it's not behind Rob. They are behind actually Royal Valley and Fanny. So this time the undercut worked for Fanny and Royal Valley, but they didn't get involved in any accidents. Bannon had a drive through, and Manolo had some incidents earlier on. So. But yeah, good job from Fenny and Royal Valley at least. Royal Valley's going to go for another move again. They've been fighting all race, and they're definitely giving us a show. And Royal Valley's just holding on just. But let's watch back for the battle for the lead again, as I think Luke is going to get the lead on track. He's got the DRS. Not much ERS though. He's running out completely. 1%. He's going to be on zero this rate if he's not careful. Heading towards the final corner. Lamborghini's gone into the pits. And I wonder if Fabi's going to catch up to Luca. Not quite. But Luca is now the race leader on track, at least for now.
Yeah, Benny was side by side with Fabi into that last chicane, but decided to back out of it. Maybe just biding his time. Fabi slowly starting to gain his ERS back. Now it's Luca who's used it all. It was a bit of a waste there using it on Lamborghini, because he was inevitably going to have to pit as we lose Greeny in the pits. But yeah, he sort of wasted his. So the top two have next to no ERS, and the guys behind have way more. Benny, more than half. Suko, literally all of it. So yes, World Rally, dear, he's left a session. And Benny's gone a bit wide. Suko, will he try and take advantage? Like I say, he's got so much ERS at his disposal. He might well do this into the hairpin. He will try down the inside. And he's up into third place. And he will continue his flight back. Remember, he led the race in the early stages, but pitted much later. Means he has fresher tires at the moment, and means he has maybe a more realistic option of sauce at the end if he wants them. He might still fancy mediums, but it just gives a little bit more flexibility. As we see Benny take his second stop. He has got a 5-second penalty to take here, remember. And yeah, that's going to be why he gets held. Oh, he's taken it already. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Well, at least he's saying it's served.
Did he take it after, actually? Did he take it after? Or is my game going mental on me again? No,
he did serve it. He did serve it. I was watching him. He did serve it. And
right, what happened with my train tires? He did the pit stop and then he sat there for 5 seconds, then he went. But
that's the game is very weird that way. But yeah, Benny's gone on the mediums though, which can get to the end, but the optimum pace is going to lose from, I would say, lap 30. So the best pace I would say is pit lap. You can, I think, go for the mediums from, I would say, lap 20 in optimum pace, and get to the end there for 2 stops. So I wonder if Benny's early pit stop will come back to bite him. But if it works, that could put him in a really crucial position at the end of this race. So we'll see how that works for him. But you can see a lot of positions gained from some of these drivers. Will that trigger the Luca and Fabi to pit? They're staying out, so they think pitting now was too early, which I still think it is. So they're still having a nice battle up front as well. Gill is in this as well, which is exciting, but it's 3.1 seconds down the drift as well. But if he stays as he is, he's still going to be very consistently in the championship lead, or probably even second or third. I can't even do maths. But Fenny, on the other hand, just got past World Rally AI, which it is a shame that we're not going to see the battle between Fenny and World Rally anymore. But as Manilo's retired as well, he's retired in the pit lane too. No retirements on track though, just retirements in the pit. So they are keeping it clean. There's just a few people just giving up, unfortunately. I would like to see more drivers in this race, but I'm guessing not many people like Canada, which I don't get why.
Oh, it's a nightmare to drive. I'm very much happy I'm the one in the commentary box and
Same.
not the one having to deal with this on the track. Because, man, it's annoying. But what is Suko going to do? Because I don't know if he's aware that Fabi is saving quite a lot of ERS. He's going to go for the move now. So Suko doesn't give Fabi enough time to save enough to be able to defend. And Fabi will pit, actually. So he is going to do an undercut as well. He did it earlier. Worked for him then. Trying to see actually where Benny came out. He's in a bit of traffic. Remember, he did take a penalty and all that, so it'll be interesting, Eltington as well, to see what sort of traffic he's in. It's another set of the mediums. They should be all good to the end. No real issues with that. We're expecting. There's his teammate Lamakina, Ruben and Benny. Will he be in around that pack, or will he just about get ahead of it? Because that could be crucial to how this undercut works. He's ahead of it. He's in plenty of clean air, and that's a good 5 seconds he's got. Maybe a little less than that, but it's enough to surely tide him over and get him back towards the lead of this race. And we'll see how he gets on with that. Like I say, it all sort of depends on what Suko's going to do, because he, again, has a bit of a strategic advantage. Having stayed out a lot longer on that first stint, he's got that option to start, and he's still got so much ERS, and you can see he should breeze past Luca into the race lead again here. And he is going to do that. He's not even going to need that DRS. He'll use it, but he'll be long clear, long before that last corner. He's just going to be aware that Luca might pit, so just be aware you're not going to cut across him and have him run into the back of you. He stayed at Luca, so maybe he'll try the same thing. But Suko back in the lead of the race.
Yeah, I would say Suko has played the strategy perfectly. We did question him saving a lot of his ERS beforehand, but you know, him managing his ERS effectively is helping get that race lead where people are struggling to actually save their ERS as well. So don't bother pushing your ERS when you're not going to use it. And Suku did very well when he was in the race lead to not use much at all. But it shows how quick he is on around this track. Could we see another different race winner as well? We've seen Lamakina won a race this season. Gills won a race this season as well. Suku could add the names to the list. Maybe Luca potentially as well. The race is not over for him as well. But we could see a lot of the midfield into the mix. Antoine is not where he should be right now. He's stuck in all this traffic. Traffic is a nightmare around this track. And if he does not get a move on, he is definitely going to be under pressure from all the other drivers on their final runs. Because I know Fabi is probably going to catch them like a drop of a hat at this rate. And Fabi's already made his second stop. So we'll see what happens. As Fabi's already going to try and make his way past World Rally. Yeah, he's already caught to the back of them. So Antoine not having the best of runs so far. But Luca is into the pit lane for his final stop, which I believe is another set of mediums. Yes, it is.
Fabi's now losing lots of time behind World Rally. He's had to really put the brakes on that last corner. Not what he wanted to happen. Remember by the way, that Fenny is going to the end, and he's obviously jumping all these guys by quite a distance. Well, not all of them. I mean, Fabi's the one that's going to be closest, but so much fighting going on. That's what he's sort of relying on, that there's plenty of fighting to keep him ahead. I don't think it'll win him the race, but at the minute, at the very least, he's looking in a strong position to maybe improve. Where did he qualify? Let's see, he qualified, what, 11? I said he has a strategy pole position, and he is going to try something different. So right now, he will find himself in track position. 3 DRS zones for people to pass him with. And that should hopefully maybe give us a nice train with all the big guys as well, as they all continue to catch. And look at that, we got on the inside, Fabi passing World Rally. World Rally will know Luca, his teammate, is challenging for track position here, so I'm sure he might give a little bit of a scrap here. Let's see. He's no ERS though, that's the problem. Gill's had an accident. That might be a safety car in the final corner. Wall of Champions chicane. He's gone, well, yeah, safety car out. So, Suko, leading the race, will get the chance to pit now. M Short as well. Fenny, he might even take that chance as well, you know. A few more in the pits. A lot of glitching going on my screen, but you can see the car that's out is... has World Rally binned it too? What's going on? Half the car just stopped, and his car's reversing down the pit lane. I might be about to DC, Jess, so please take over before this goes wrong. Or am I already gone? I haven't a clue. I'm just talking to no one, aren't I? Again. Hello, nobody.
World Rally, I believe, is having internet issues in DC because on my end, he's having issues as well.
Sorry, I'm used to it being my fault, so yes. He's currently driving down the pit lane the wrong way round. Are you saying that as well?
Yes.
Thank God, because I thought I was DC'd there again.
I forgot to unmute my mic. That was why as well. So, sorry for panicking, yeah.
Well, hopefully they enjoyed my panic. But anyway, this does shake the race up a tad, doesn't it? The season 26 F1 champion, binning it at the World Champions chicane. Couldn't be more fitting. But here is Suko, absolutely going to be the softs now. And he's going to get a few laps of safety car. This is ideal for him.
M Short stays out.
Stays out. That screams, I'm going to try and go to the end of the race. So that'll be fun. Why not? Give it a go. Let's see what you can do. You might as well risk it now.
Well, if you think about it,
it's lose or lose.
Yeah, exactly. The safety car, the race trim is considerably less on those mediums compared to normal. So why not take the gamble? There's a few more races to go of F1 2020. And if you're not in a good chance winning the championship, then you can take the gamble. So we'll see what M Shaw could do. He was F3 champion last season, yet to win a race this season. But wouldn't it be a story where someone from F3 last season would win a race? That would be amazing. Simo, however you say his name, he stays out too. I believe he's still yet to make his final stop. And apart from those two, M Shaw and Simon, everyone else has jumped the gun and made the pit stop. CC Brain stays out too. KJ, well, I don't think he had any other choice really, to be honest, but you know, I had a feeling there was going to be a safety car into the mix. It is common around Canada as well, but I didn't think it was going to be Gil that caused the safety car. I had a feeling Gil would have had a good race today if he didn't have that troubled accident, but it's just so easy to lose it. I've lost it quite a few times around there, so it's not just champions that lose it around there. Many people could lose it around there too, but it just happened to be Gil. But it's now Eltink flying solo for the Racing Point team, which could work really well if you're Alpha and Mayo and want to score many points. But Lamakina probably won't score any points either because he's down in 14th. So it's pretty much even Steamers, I would say, with the constructors right now. I don't know what the constructors battle is at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. No sign of rain, but you never know what could happen in F2. We've seen rain quite a few races already this season, and could we about to see one towards the end? We don't know. There's a lot of things that can still happen, and I'm looking forward to seeing it.
I'm surprised that the people who pitted on that safety car didn't all go onto softs. Obviously, Suko did, but some others, like Fenny, for example, suggested he might try and pit. World Rally had pitted. He's on softs. Antoine could pit. He did. He didn't go onto them. He went onto the mediums. Ascom went onto the hard. You know, I would have thought everyone who would have went onto the softs, but clearly they didn't. So maybe they have doubts about how much grip they'll have. Suko maybe taking a risk then on them, but depends on the safety car's going to be out for. I suspect it's going to be coming in on this lap, and that means that Suko will have to do 12 laps on these softs. Will it be enough? Will he have enough at the end of the race? M Short is not going to be looking fantastic on tyres at the end either. Simo, I'd be very surprised if he made it to the end. His tyres are 3 laps older than M Short's, and now we're already worried about him a little bit. Fabi, what's he going to do? Because he might have to get a bit aggressive now. This would be good. Looking forward to this one, Jess.
Yeah, me too as well. We got guys who are on fresher softs, guys that are on fresher mediums as well, guys who are on older mediums, and we got one on hards, Ascom, on 16th place. I thought he would have gone on mediums, but I'm guessing he ran out of mediums, or maybe he didn't want to go on the soft because he think he couldn't do it. Suku could just about get to the end on those soft compounded tyres, but it won't be too good in terms of tyre temperatures at the end of it. So we're about to go racing. Let's see what M Short could do. He got off the line straight away, actually, towards the start-finish straight, but they're still weaving, actually. They're still weaving on their tyres, so they're trying to get up to temperature because the temperature is quite cold around the track at the moment. And I'm almost certain the Red Bull driver of Simo is going to have Fabi and Luca go past. We've got a bit of a yellow flag in Sector 1. There may have been a bit of a pile-up, but I don't have a clue what that is. But let's pay attention to what's going on at the front. Luca versus Fabi, the battle that's been on for the whole race, has been absolutely going tasty right now. But Suku just can't get past M-Short, even though he's a few temps down the line. M-Short had a really cracking restart, and Suku just did not respond.
There was nothing he could do, though, to be fair. I think he's just sort of biding his time now, Suku. He might well get him at the end of this lap. Simo's got a job to do now. He's got to hold Fabi up as long as humanly possible to help his teammate out, because Suku is about to take the lead of this race. I can't see him not passing M Short right here, right now. Here he goes on the overtake button. He's actually abandoned it. He doesn't feel he can do it, so he's not going to pass him, maybe. Fabi, yeah, he got by straight away, so Simo couldn't really do anything about him. Shame that. That's a bit of a blow to Red Bull, actually.
Well,
maybe Simo will try and get back past him. Maybe he'll have another go. But yeah, Fabi got by really a bit more easy than Suku would have been hoping for there. But no, well, Suku, that might give him a little bit more urgency, because that's Fabi coming to get him now.
Yeah, we haven't seen Suku versus Fabi. We've usually seen Lamakina versus maybe Eltink potentially as well, Hadler as well. As you know, we haven't seen a potential championship fight where we've seen a clear divide on who we were going with against, and that's what I like about this season. And we'll have a few more races to go after this one. We've got 11 after this one. We'll have 10 laps to go of this race so far, and the DRS will be activated, I believe, this next lap, so plenty more chances for some overtakes to happen. I have a feeling Suku will go for that overtake. So meanwhile, Luca gets past into the hairpin. Easy does it there. No trouble for the AlphaTauri driver. Benny, on the other hand, he's got no penalty, so he could jump way up the order if he could get past these guys as well. The top three don't have penalties either as well. The ones on penalties, they're probably screwed over as well, because they're going to probably lose out on some points. Meanwhile, Simo is in the pits and he's retired.
Right.
So I don't know what happened to him. Has he probably given up again, or did he bin it, or I don't know.
Mission failed.
Yes.
To hold up Fabi. I guess that was sort of his race over. So I'm sort of assuming that was the plan. It sort of failed, I guess. But well, you live and learn. But well, we can watch some DRS stuff now, as long as my game doesn't crash again. I've lost all gap. But well, I can still see that Suku goes all over the back at M Short with his DRS. M Short still has plenty of ERS to use. Fabi's actually got less than him, not by much, but it's less. He is using it to try and keep up with Suku to stay up in DRS, but surely M Short will get past now, or will get overtaken. Hadler and Eltink. Eltink nearly putting Hadler on the wall, showing who's boss there. CC Brain trying to get back ahead, but here comes Suku. Closing in, DRS, ERS, and leading the race once again. The pole sitter back where he started. And he will get another dose of DRS down that main straight just to help him pull away. Further back, gaps are going to start popping up again. I don't think CC Brain's close to get by Hadler, because Hadler's got the DRS, but let's see, he's using all the ERS he's got. Is it enough down the inside? That's going to be contact. Might shove him a little bit wide, not the first time. Hadler's been shoved wide, and now Fenny's going to get involved. He's on the best tires out of these three. He's going to be looking to get out the field as well. He's got a penalty, I think, and there's a lot of contact going on. He wants to keep his nose clean, because he might well be one to watch near the end of this one. He's up at the P8 now. CC Brain will be back down his inside and really takes him out of the race. I don't really know what that was all about, but okay. Bellner, after that drive-through penalty, for goodness sake, there's a crash now. We got Antoine taking Ferry into the wall. Ruben is up into P9 now, and
Antoine's lost his front wing.
Well, it's Antoine and Fenny that came together on the exit of 6. Or, yeah, it was turn 6 or 7, whatever it was.
Turn 7, I think it was.
Crashed into each other, very clumsy. But, yeah, that will help Ballner, because obviously Ballner, as I was saying, he had the drive-through penalty at the start of this race for jumping the start. and he's now back at the points. He hasn't got any penalties either, and his tyres aren't looking too shabby, so he might well be pretty happy with how this is going. M Short doing well to hold on to the back of Suku, by the way, and Luca trying to challenge on Fabi. Benny, as you say, no penalties either. Antoine is out of the race, retiring in the pit lane. Fenny is in the pit lane, but he's not going to retire. He's going to keep going. No, he is going to retire. Ignore me.
Commentators, the commentators curse. Fenny was running a good race as well. So I'm guessing he got this being in the pit lane penalty. He was just like, nah, I'm going to lose so much time at the end of this race. But you don't know what's going to happen. There could be another late safety car. So Fenny will probably regret that, because he had no penalties either, I don't think, or he may have got 3, but less than everybody else anyway. So he would have still bothered saving. He must have.
Yeah. Like I say, it was him who got shoved into the wall. CC Brain as Luca goes by Fabi. That was into the hairpin. That's risky. Surely he doesn't keep that one on the exit. If anything, it'll slow them both down a little bit more. Benny got a penalty, by the way, so that sort of ruins his advantage. Means the top 2 sort of fight between themselves. Luca and Fabi are just sort of losing the time for each other, and they're side by side in that last chicane. Guess how that ends? It ends with a driver in the wall. It ends with Luca losing a lot of time. Bit clumsy to go side by side into there, especially if you're in a car on the inside. What do you think is going to happen? He's just found out first hand. That's what happens. And he's still in the red, though. But, bit clumsy.
That was the first mistake of the race, I think, from Luca as well. He was driving so well up to that point, so I'm guessing that he was just so used to certain lines and he was a bit too complacent, and, you know, him hitting the wall like that has cost him chunks of time, and KJ's going to be all over the back of him as well, Handler as well. Bernard too could get a podium potentially out of all of this too, with all these penalties. I'm not going to get how many penalties people have got. I'm going to leave it not on show. You can see the black and white flags, but I'm not going to get the numbers out. I want it to be a surprise really, but I think you can see Banner's going to catch these guys as well in a heartbeat too, but he doesn't want to get held up in this traffic, of course. Suku as well with the gap down in front. He's going to concentrate on saving his tyre wear and his ERS, so when it gets to the end where his tyres go, then he could just push at the end. Meanwhile, Luca gets past Benny, or did Benny try to get past Luca? I think Luca's struggling and Benny's gaining up all the advantage out of all of this as well.
Luca passing Benny. Luca absolutely flying back up the grid. He's an angry driver now. He'll have his thoughts and feelings about that contact. I think he should have backed out. Maybe he tried to, but it was too late. But he will want some revenge. He's after Fabi. Q. Carnage. But let's see. As Hadler goes by KJ, side by side. We've seen this go wrong just a couple laps ago, and it's happened again. And we've got 3 cars involved in that accident. Ballard, the one that tips Hadler round, and then Ruben, the unfortunate car, that gets involved. And for the second time in 4 laps, we have a McLaren and a Williams in the wall. And that's going to be down front on the grid. Now McKenna could still get some points yet if they keep crashing like this. He's starting 13th at the moment on some softs. Bit in no man's land, but let's see where he ends up at the end. As Suko just about a second clear, but M Short should close that gap back up because he was within a second, crucially, on the DRS zone. And Luca as well is back in that DRS. So that top 4 sort of all on their own. And now Benny not really able to keep up. And Elting, well, that turn 5 mess, turn 6 mess didn't really help him. Probably slowed him down a little bit. So it's all about these guys at the front. How are Suko's tyres going to be? What's the grip going to be like? Is M Short somehow able to get more grip than him on these mediums, which are also not looking too good? Really still don't know how to predict this one. I wonder how close they are to penalties as well. Worth checking that out, because 2 warnings for Suko. He's on the knife edge, and same for M Short. They're both on a knife edge of that. So yeah, this isn't just over yet. I know it looks good for Suko, but let's just hold off on it, because you never know what could happen here. As Ruben in the pits retires. Who'd have thunk it? I swear everyone's gone today apart from Gil. Poor Gil. But yeah, down to 12 in this race. Man, the attrition.
Yeah, if you just finish in this race, then you're guaranteed for a good result, almost certainly. So we're going to see the likes of Ascron being back to have a good result. He's on no penalties, don't forget to, and he's catching up CC Brain on warm mediums. So, you know, he could be on for maybe top 5 potentially as well. And if one of these drivers in the top 2 get penalty, it may signal game over. But you can see Fabi's tyres, they're definitely much better. M Short is... their tyres are definitely past the sell-by date, M Short, so he's going to hope that the conditions cool down a little bit, because otherwise there's going to be puncher territory. I did say there could be a puncher, but the safety car may have helped the tyres to stay alive a little bit. But I would say lap 21, 22 laps, and I think it would have been 70, 80% by now. So M Short's got to do a little bit of short shifting in order to make his tyres go the distance. I wonder if Jeff will be going through different strategies, and I think M Short will be ignoring them right now. But Fabi is going to go for P2 on track. But for M Short, I think it's either go hard or go home. It's either points or no points, I would say. But with the amount of people gone from this race, if I was him, I'll just keep going. The gap is too big for him to pit now, so I think he just got to take the consequences, unfortunately. But I'm almost certain Suka's going to take the win anyway. But M Short's still catching, though, so to be fair, it's anyone's race to lose, really, to be honest.
Yeah, it is difficult to predict. I mean, if M Short's tyres do start to go off the knife edge, he could still theoretically have a pit stop and end up in the top 10 again. But he looks at the podium. That's what he's wanting right now. Fabi closing, but he's not used up all his DRS. And look at this. He's caught right up to Suko now, I'm sure. So he still feels confident enough about his tyres. As Luca gets onto the back of Fabi as well, nearly contact. Still pull away from Benny. So it's all sort of closing up right now. Actually, M Short, there's no point pitting now. He would get points if he does so, but you might as well go big or go home, as you say. He's only got 3 laps to hold on. He's still in the DRS of the race leader. Anything goes wrong for him, you've just won the race. So, yeah, you might as well do it. And Luca and Fabi, we know that those two get pretty contact heavy when they fight. So that will also be encouragement for Short. In fact, here comes Luca now, down the inside, into the hairpin once again. We saw him try this a while ago. And this time, he gets it done. Fabi, a little bit of contact. And he will try and get the switch back on the exit, but Luca's too busy worrying about M Short. Let's see if he can catch up to the Mercedes on this run. I don't think he's quite close enough. I don't think Fabi's going to be close enough either, so that's Luca back up into P3.
Luca could be on for the win of this race if any of those two drivers make a mistake or get penalties or stuff like that as well. M Short's caught to the back of Suku too, so we could be in for another battle for the race victory here as well. Ascom seems to be struggling on those hard tyres, getting up to temperature though. But he's on for some good points. I do believe he picked up a penalty a few laps ago. So the penalty-free run that Ascom had, unfortunately, has come to an end. But it hasn't come to an end for Banner yet. He's still penalty-free. I believe he's still got 2 warnings. So he is at danger of losing potential penalty-freeness. But we've got CC Brain. I think it's going to probably potentially get Ascom as well. Luca, it's going to be take 2 for him to try and get past M Short. M Short does not want to let his go. A bit of a lock-up from M Short may not help his cause. And M Short's picked up a penalty. And I think if Luca gets past M Short, it depends how many penalties Luca's got actually heading into this hairpin. So
it's 6 seconds. The rest have 3. So he's got to just keep moving, really. He's got to just hope that M Short's tyres continue to fall off. That's good news for Suko. He'll be happy enough to see that. That should be the win confirmed for him, as long as the tyres stay alive. But I'd suggest if M Short is still going, then it'd be a bit cruel on Suko for us to go. But still, here comes Luca anyway. He would have to make 6 seconds on this lap, or 3 if Suko gets a penalty. But it is a bit of an ask. But let's see if we can do it anyway. We're on the final lap here in Canada. Suko will know the situation. He can see everyone's penalties. He's just going to try and get this to the finish and see what happens. But if he can cross the line first, he'll be happy enough. But I think the win is pretty much there for him. But here's Luca anyway. DRS time. He'll get the exit. He should get the run. And this will just all to be the setup for the final chicane. Still M Short, Fabi, and well, maybe not Benny, but certainly M Short and Fabi still there if anything happens between these two. And Fabi.
Here goes Fabi.
Is going to be trying to get by M Short and around the outside.
Play on the brakes.
He's gone way too deep, and I think M Short will try and feed him into the wall. They're making a lot of contact, very slippery and slidey on the exit there. And M Short's not got much ERS, nor has Fabi. Luca's trying to get by Suko, but there's no point because Suko is dead ahead. And well, the pole setter went for a different strategy. We weren't sure if it was going to work at first, but as it turns out, it's worked out perfectly. Suko wins in Canada. Fabi will come in second with M Short third and Luca fourth. Benny is going to end up 6th place with Luca ended up behind Ballner in the end. So Ballner, after that drive-through penalty and the safety car helping him back through, has taken full advantage and gone back up to P4. So a good drive from him in the end. As I say, Luca's 5th and Benny 6th. Ascom 7th as well on the hards. Not too bad. L-Tank 8th, CC Brain 9th, and you will see World Rally come through in 10th place. Has he got a fastest lap out of curiosity? Because he might well have a
I
shot
don't
at it.
know.
He
Yes,
does
he has.
indeed.
So he gets an
So
extra point.
well, we'll have to wait and see because we have got
Oh yeah, 2 drivers.
Lamakina on his qualifying lap. He's up by a little bit in the middle sector. He needs a little bit more though in his last sector. He's absolutely bombing through this last chicane, which he's done. This is just to take the fastest lap point away. He wouldn't even get it himself, I don't think, but he has taken the fastest lap. Don't know exactly how it works, but he's not
as well.
the fastest lap. Adler will.
And he gets it.
No, he didn't get it. He was nowhere near in the end. So it's Lamakina.
No, how far Adler got it?
Nah, he did a 1 minute 9.2. Says in the dash.
Oh right, I'm guessing the game just played havoc.
You know, he moved ahead of Lamakina on the penalty, so I think that's what happened there.
Ah, that's probably why. Then that's what confused me a little bit. But a different race winner of a Red Bull driver of Suku, of course. I need to check what his best result was this season, but I believe that was a last result he had was a P3 in Belgium. And a P4, and he actually got P4 in France as well. So apart from the Netherlands, where he didn't do very well, he got unlucky with the weather conditions anyway. He's had a good run in the second half of the season. Belgium P3, France P4, and then a P1 to add to his name in Canada as well. I don't think you would be expecting that today as well. One of the few drivers to pick up no penalties as well. I'm guessing he was a bit nervous in the final few laps. A, because his tyres were almost dead. And B, he was almost probably going to pick up a penalty anyway. So anyway, your results are as follows. The top 2 in qualifying remained the top 2 in the race. We've got Suku, Fabi, M. Short in 3rd, his best result of the season, I believe. And we got Banner in 4th, Luca 5th, we got Benny, Ascom, Eltig, CC Brain and Royal Valley in the top 10. And then we got Hadler and Lamakina being your final finishers. And we got so many retirements. We got Ruben, Fenny, Antoine, Simo, Gil. Gil was the only one who retired on track, which was unintentional. He binned in the Wall of Champions. Everybody else retired in the pit lane, as well as Manilo, Greeny LFC, and Caden Forbes there. But everyone at least did a few stops there. But yeah, I have to say, Suku drive of the day for me as well. But Banner did a great job from going near the back after his drive-through to finish 4th in the race. It just shows you don't give up in league racing, and that's what Banner did. And that's going to help his championship cause as well. It could jump him up, I think. It will jump him up, actually, because he was 1 point behind L-Tink coming into this race. He's going to be definitely a few points ahead coming into the next race. So, good job for him.
Yeah, it's a good comeback, isn't it? Because it's very easy just to give it up and retire, like quite a lot of people did in this race. But yeah, he's kept it going. That could be crucial for him. Like I say, with so many people in the championship having sort of odd days and it being such a low points count so far, you got to be there to win it, and he was, and so that might be crucial for his season. But yeah, that is the race then. Hopefully we get some people in for interviews. Hopefully they aren't going to be all arguing in the chat and getting angry at each other. We like to talk to them.
Yeah, I'm almost certain we want to see our race winner definitely, because it's his first win at PSGL. I think he's a new driver as well this season, so we always like to see someone take their maiden win in a league race. And we thought he lost it earlier on because he didn't do the undercut to start with, but again, he didn't give up, and he had the safety car helped him with a matter of fact, but you have to be strong in the race in order to capitalise on that, and he was strong in the race. So he's had 1 podium so far this season, and he's had another one, and that will be a race victory. So we'll wait just for a few moments until we get someone else in. But next week we head to Japan next week, which was our season finale last season. It was not too bad last season, but to be honest, we still got a lot of things to fight for. We got a championship fight still on our hands, and the constructors as well. Mathematically, I would say the top 12, I would say, still in it, which I can't believe. I can't believe I'm saying this after with a few more races to go, of course. But, you know, there's still plenty of rounds to decide who will be champion, and I still don't know who's going to do it. And no one is being very kind to us today. No one's going in, I don't think. To be fair, I didn't ask if anyone wants to go in, so I will ask actually in the chat, but I doubt it. But what can you expect for Japan next week then? Because I think it's going to be another crack of a race.
bit more of that expect the unexpected, really, isn't it? Because again, it is just so close. I hope Suko can sort of keep the form up, because it would be good to see someone come through from a bit lower in the championship and start with a consistency. Someone has to get on a consistent run eventually. Shame to see Gil fall off, but look, it all helps us, doesn't it? Gives us a much more interesting championship fight. But like I say, whoever comes through and wins this is going to have to be some proper consistency. So that's what I'm looking for. Japan, not the easiest track to overtake on as well, so a proper challenge for these guys. Those chicanes in the first sector are a total nightmare. So, yeah, it's going to be a good race.
Yeah, indeed. And we got 2 people in the interview booth. So, whilst we were stalling for a little bit, they're trying to think of stuff to say. We've got a few people in. Who should we get first? We got M Short and Fabi in there. I'll get M Short actually, because his tyres were on a knife edge. You keep the Kleptic clean with no penalty, so we'll get him in now. So, M Short, you must have been cunning it fine there towards the end of that race with your medium tyres, but you still managed to hold on to a very good position and one of your best results here at PSGL. Tell us how that last few laps for you, in particular that safety car period.
Yeah, that was. I wasn't very happy with the safety car because for some reason no one seemed to know that soft medium was pretty easily doable. So I think without the safety car, I probably could have been in for the win. But I still decided to stay out because I didn't have another set of mediums available, and softs was a risk of punctures. And I would have dropped down to like 7th or 8th if I did pit. But then, just a shame, 2 laps to go, my tyres just had no grip. Just went the tiniest bit wide and got a penalty, which cost me the chance of mainly second, but possibly a chance at Suku, because I lost the position to Luca because of that. And yeah, shame Fabi got me on the hairpin, but still, I'm happy with this because it's my first season with no line, so just to get a podium is all I wanted, really.
Yeah, because it did take you a while to adapt to the no-line condition as well, because you wanted to get the move up after your fantastic season last season. Could this be the turning point where you're actually used to the no-line, and maybe we could see more podiums for you as well? Because you were looking quick at the start of the season as well, but, you know, is there any tracks that you're absolutely dreading for the rest of the season? Because you technically, I believe, are still in the championship fight as well, believe it or not. So do you think you could fight back maybe potentially? And is there any tracks that you're still not sure that you could do well?
I think the remaining tracks are quite nice for me. I don't think I'll have a chance at all at being up there, but yeah, I'll just be happy to get more points and maybe another podium in the last few races.
Yeah, that'll be good as well. And so next week is Japan at least. Are you quite confident about the track? And because I'm not sure if you're on a pad or a wheel, because it is known for being a wheel track. But how are you gonna combat this? Is it a track that you need to put a lot more practice on?
Yeah, I think that'll probably need a bit more practice because Canada is quite simple, really. But yeah, I'll see what my pace is like there, and then hopefully get another good result. Yeah, but I'm on wheels, so that could play into that.
That's good.
Yeah.
No excuses, joking. So well done on your good result today, and you definitely needed that. And best of luck for the rest of the season, M Short. And before you go, Owen, do you have any questions?
I'm just curious, what were your tires on at the end then? Because you did seem pretty confident with the strategy. I'm surprised no one else tried it if you said it was so good. What were the tires actually like then?
I didn't look at the percent just because too busy battling with those. But without safety cars, soft medium is fine without going past 75%. So I assume they're in the mid to high 60s. But yeah, I'm surprised no one went for it because I think without a safety car, it's definitely the quickest strategy.
Well, you're lucky no one else followed then. It's a really good strategy now, so well done.
Yeah, well done, M Short. And we'll get our P2 in there as well. I'll let you take the reins on that one, Owen, and I'll bring him in as well. So here he is, our P2 man. Just missed out on the win there. So take it away, Owen.
Well, hello then, Fabi.
Hello.
First of all, how did you think your race went? Because that one was a bit all over the place, wasn't it? Because at the start, after the first stop, you had the strategy advantage, but then at the end it sort of switched. Do you think you would have won that without the safety car?
It's hard to say because Soho was very fast on his first stint and second stint, and maybe he could have won the race, but we will never know.
Got to ask about how this is for your championship then, because we've been saying it all day really. With so far Gil not finishing the race means that he's still on 44 points, and I'm pretty sure that's still the championship leader. So you getting a good podium result must make you think you've got a chance, because it really is anyone's at the minute. So how do you think you're going to approach the end of the season? Do you think you could go for that championship?
If the result stays like it is, and I have 28 points, I think. We will see. I just look for race after race, and then maybe in last round we can talk about it again.
Just quickly, what do you think about Japan? Do you think confident to that track?
Japan's a cool track, but it's hard to overtake somebody. So qualifying, it's maybe 90% of your result, and yeah, I'm looking forward for Japan.
Right, okay, well done on your result. I'll see if Jess has anything to ask.
I think you pretty much answered that pretty much all the questions. So good job, Fabi, on your P2, and best of luck for Japan and for your championship hunt for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, so I think that's all we have time for in interviews. Unfortunately, we couldn't get our race winner, which is a shame. I would have liked to seen the reaction, the raw reaction of Suku's win. We saw Gil very happy with his home Grand Prix win last week, so it was a shame, but we'll find out from him what his actual reaction was at the end of it. But we head to Japan next week, a very good track, obviously, like we said earlier. Should be fun, and then we got Baku after that, and then Brazil for the final race of the championship. So 3 more rounds to go. We don't have a clue who's going to take the championship. Everyone is just so close. Make sure you join us next week. We still got F1, F5 and F6 to come as well, so make sure you watch those. Thanks, Owen, for joining in the commentary box once again.
Absolute pleasure, Jess.
And we will see you next week in Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. We'll let you enjoy the rest of your evening. Goodbye.